Hello, welcome to Craft Time with the Donnelly Library. If you're watching this video, then you were present for our first story time, Animals in Winter. For today's craft, we're going to make a bear out of tissue paper rolls. And because it's winter, we're going to make a cave for those bears to hibernate in. Without further ado, let's get started. Let's go over the supplies that we're going to need. You're going to want a brown paper bag. A grocery store bag would work fine. This is going to become our bear's cave. You're going to want toilet paper rolls or paper towel rolls to make your bears with. You're also going to want markers. Here I have a selection of brown and black, but you can use whatever colors your children enjoy. A pen would come in handy as well, though this one is optional. You're going to want scissors for cutting. And you're also going to need some glue for some gluing parts to this project. Lastly, you're going to want leaves. You could use leaves that you find in your backyard or on a walk. You could also make leaves for yourselves. So here I colored some leaves on plain paper and cut them out. Let's begin with the first part of our craft. To start with, we're going to make a bear out of our tissue roll. Using a pen or possibly a marker, draw 2 half circles near the top of the roll. We want these half circles to be about a 1/4 inch from the very top, and we want them spaced 1/2 inch to 1 inch apart. These are going to be our bear's ears. Once you have both half circles drawn on, you want to connect them with a line that goes all the way around the round of the tube. We're going to use this line as a guide for cutting in a second. Don't worry too much about making it perfect. It does not have to be perfectly symmetrical. And do let your children participate in this part. If your kids are old enough to use scissors, let them cut this out themselves. Using the scissors, follow the line that you've just drawn until you have the shape that you want. And with a little bit of video editing magic, I'm nearly finished cutting out my bear. Now that we have the shape that we're looking for, we need to give our bear features and a face. I'm going to use a pen to do this. You can use a marker if you prefer, of course. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add little half circles inside of the bear's ears to give them shape and definition. And I'm going to give my bear a face. Let your children decorate their bears however they would like. They can give them big eyes or tiny little eyes. They could give them a big toothy grin. It's up to them. And then, of course, once the face is applied, I'm going to go ahead and color our bear in. I'm going to use a black marker for this, but use whatever marker your children want. And I'm going to color the entirety of the bear, leaving only its face uncolored. This way it'll have a furry look. I think my bear's really starting to come together. I'm going to use a brown marker now to give him a few extra accents. The great thing about this part of the craft is that you can make as many bears as your children want. You can make a whole family of bears if they want. It's really up to you. So I'm going to use brown to color in the eyes and the nose, and we should have a completed bear. There we go. And we're ready for the next part of the craft. For the second part of our craft, we're going to make a hibernation cave for our bears. Use a pen, or again, if you prefer, use a marker, to draw a half circle onto your paper bag. The half circle should start at the base of the bag and go all the way to the halfway point. I already have my line drawn on, so I'm just going to start cutting. It is important when you are cutting the hole out of the bag that we don't cut all the way through, and we also don't want to cut into the bottom of the bag either. We want this to be a cave shape when the bag is opened. Now we have our cave opening, but we want to make sure the top of the bag stays shut. Go ahead and flip your bag over and use some glue to seal it shut. We're going to apply a line of glue right at the very top. And once that line is applied, we're going to do it again at the midway point of the bag. So here I've already made a fold, as you probably will see. This will allow me to fold it at the midway point. Now, when applying your second line of glue, remember that you do want to be able to open the bag when we're done, so don't glue the bottom. Lift that bottom flap up while you're applying your glue. There we go. And now you just want to let that rest and solidify. Go ahead, put a book on it so that it'll stay in place. After about 10 minutes, your glue should be dry. Go ahead and grab those leaves because now it's time to decorate. As you can see, we're still able to open our bag and it holds its shape very well. Since this is going to be a bear's cave for hibernation, I'm going to use our leaves to decorate the inside and the outside of the cave and make it look like a cozy place to sleep. Some leaves I'm going to put on the bottom of the bag and some I'm going to glue to the outside as decoration. There's really no wrong way to decorate these bags, and you should feel free to experiment. For example, you can make snowflakes with your children and decorate the outside of the bag with snowflakes. You can also just let your children draw on the outside of the bag, whatever they would enjoy. And this completes today's craft. I hope you have fun making this with your children. Thank you for joining me today, and happy crafting.